What's up, residents? Alistair here, back to bring you some big MonsterVerse news. Now, we actually have a few things confirmed here. A fresh confirmation that production has started on Godzilla vs. Kong 2, and that new MonsterVerse video games are in production, and also a Godzilla vs. Kong theme park? Now, I know you're just as excited as I am to hear about this news, but before we get into it, I'd love if you stayed and listened to today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. With hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 600 champions blessed with unique skills, you can build your team, develop your champions, and raid your way. And as a fan of Godzilla, Jurassic Park, and Lord of the Rings, this game feels right at home and satisfies my cravings for a game centered around leveling up your hero to defeat terrifying monster bosses. One such boss is a brand new addition to the game, the Hydra. It's without a doubt the biggest, baddest, and most terrifying boss that players have ever faced. Much like the classic titan, King Ghidorah, this monster has multiple heads, each with a different ability and requires a different strategy to destroy. And like in King of the Monsters, if you manage to slice off one of its heads, another one grows to replace it, making this clan boss super challenging. So Godzilla fans should come along and face this monster, because it's almost like facing off against Monster Zero himself. There's a ton happening in Raid this month, with special events every single day, and an entirely new event for summer's solstice called the Path of Light. You'll be able to explore 3 branching paths to get the rewards you want the most. On top of that, there's even more awesome new champions coming out. They look amazing, and I can't wait to get my filthy hobbit hands on them. There's seriously never been a better time to get started, and if you use my link or scan the QR code right here, new players can get a free starter pack worth almost $30 to kickstart your game. We're talking a free champion, Tyrell, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in the game. You will find these rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Just click the link in the description and I'll see you in game. Thanks residents for listening, and thanks Raid for the sponsor. Now let's get back to the video. First off, let's start with what we know about the new games, since that's why you clicked on the title. Announced at Licensing Expo 2022 in Las Vegas, the game will be developed by 7 Levels, who have teamed up with Legendary to make a brand new action-adventure game that's set to release on PC, consoles, including the Nintendo Switch. The game will sport a 2.5D gameplay style, which basically means it'll be a side-scroller that you can not only just move forward and backwards in, but towards and away from the camera. The synopsis for the game goes as such. Set after the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, players exploit the strengths of the Titans to traverse a crumbling metropolis on the trails of unraveling a huge mystery tied into the MonsterVerse franchise. It seems like the game will expand on existing lore whilst also building up for the events of the Godzilla vs. Kong sequel. Now, 7 Levels aren't exactly a AAA studio. They tend to make games that are easy to pick up and play on the go. Warplane's World War II Dogfight was one of their Switch entries, and it looks pretty decent, graphically at least. Castle of Heart is another game from the studio, also on the Switch, and appears to be a medieval Castlevania-esque side-scroller. So these aren't insultingly bad like some of the other mobile Godzilla games we've had in recent years, but it doesn't exactly fill me with confidence when it comes to envisioning what the game will be. My guess is you'll control the Alpha Titans, potentially in co-op, as you move from city to city, killing monsters as you go, and you'll gain points by executing all sorts of evil titans and man-made weaponry. Oh yeah, kinda like Dawn of the Monsters, a 2.5D beat-em-up game from 13am Games. So if you want an idea as to how this upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong video game could be, I'd recommend giving that a try. Makes you wonder if someone at Legendary was looking at the release of Dawn of the Monsters and went, damn, that's a good idea. But that's not all. Another MonsterVerse video game is being developed, but this one's for mobile phones, made by free-to-play developer Tilting Point, the same developers as Star Trek Timelines, Warhammer Chaos and Conquest, as well as Zombieland AFK. The GVK mobile game is described as a multiplayer online survival strategy game where humans fight together against the renowned Titans. So basically it will be typical mobile phone bloatware, similar to the other Godzilla mobile games, where microtransactions will be at the forefront of the gameplay experience. Fun fact, we were actually meant to get a Godzilla vs Kong mobile game back in 2021 made by Disruptor Beam, but that studio was unfortunately shut down. They actually made Star Trek Timelines, which was then purchased by the studio Tilting Point during their bankruptcy. This means they most likely nabbed the rights to make the Godzilla vs Kong game and are continuing production where Disruptor Beam left off, which is actually pretty cool. Oh well, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe it'll be good. Chances are they'll release them at the same time as the upcoming MonsterVerse film, which is set to begin filming soon. At the same licensing expo, they reaffirmed that the next installment of the MonsterVerse is in production, and by the sounds of it, it's ready to start filming very soon, with call sheets going out to the cast and crew, which basically means all hands on deck. Which, in short, means subscribe and stomp the notification button so you don't miss out on all the updates regarding Godzilla vs Kong 2. Oh yeah, and a MonsterVerse pinball game is being made. Can't forget about that. I'm sure someone's excited about that. Now onto what, in my opinion, is the most interesting news. Once again at the Licensing Expo, it was revealed that a new theme park is being built, and Legendary's biggest franchises will be at the forefront, such as Dune, Pacific Rim, and at the center of it all, Godzilla and Kong. This hopefully means we'll get a fully themed area, kitted out to look like a destroyed city, with maybe even some Hollow Earth and Monarch sections. Maybe we'll actually get a ride based on that short sequence in Godzilla vs Kong? I always felt that bit would be perfect for a ride. Not only that, but from the sounds of it, Pacific Rim will even get a ride, considering it'll be part of the theming. Maybe we'll get Godzilla vs Pacific Rim? This all sounds like a dream come true. So what's the catch? This all sounds too good. Well, they're actually building it in the south of France. Yes, instead of competing with Islands of Adventure and Disney World in Florida, Legendary would rather compete with Disneyland in France. Disneyland is obviously a big deal, but I think there's plenty of room for a new park, essentially being Europe's answer for Universal Studios. For you Americans, this might sound like a bit of a bummer, but this is great news for us in Europe. Traveling through the continent is super easy thanks to our railway systems, so it means the new theme park will be accessible to hundreds of millions of people who will be able to actually experience the MonsterVerse in person and hopefully become a fan for life. The park is scheduled to open in 2025. What did you think about this huge news update? Which are you most excited about? The new MonsterVerse theme park or Godzilla Pinball? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like because it helps us know what you want to see more of. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.